Alright, welcome back. My name is BV2MBest. Double upload. Woo! Alright. Basically, this is part 2 of the Raid Boss Rush. We will be going through the bosses 10 through 18, because there were 18 of them, and that's a lot for one video. So, let's begin real fast. Calus. When you get to Calus and you kill him, he'll drop Calus's Treasured Shader, Calus's Selected Shader, Inaugural Address, Midnight Coup, Sins of the Past, an Emblem, Legend of Acrius, Alone as a God Sniper Rifle, Calus's Power, which is a new shader that I created, which is gold and white, with a purple animated effect, kind of like how the Prestige Armor looks. And the Contender Shell can also drop, and this weapon called the Third Eye, an exotic heavy solar trace rifle. It fires a constant beam of solar damage that over-penetrates enemy shields, including elemental shields, phalanx shields, maybe some like heavier shields like Taken phalanx shields as well. Scion projection shields and Leviathan, so you don't have to go in the bubble, that type of stuff. Next up, Argos. He will drop an emblem, the Zenith of Your Kind shotgun, the I Am Alive grenade launcher, and a shader called Argos' Power, which is dark gray and brown with an Argos suppression-y, triangle suppression-y effect as the animated piece. And that's the new shader. And then the weapon would be Cranial Mind, which is an exotic rocket launcher that does void damage, and it fires a large void triangle similar to the way Argos sends its traps. And enemies that are hit by the rocket are damaged and suppressed for a short time. So it's basically the triangles, which is cool. He will also drop Calus's Elite and Calus's Preferred shaders. Valkaor will drop an emblem, the Last of the Legion sidearm, the Emperor's Envy fusion rifle, the Luxurious Toast emote, the Praetorian Visage shader, the Calus's Shadow shader, and a weapon I created called the Kaor's Power. Or not a weapon, a shader, sorry. The Kaor's Power, which has red and gray with a glowing, flaming red animated effect with little red Legion symbols inside. It's an animated one. It's cool. And then we got two weapons for Kaor. Red Legion's Breach, which is an exotic heavy flamethrower, which does solar damage. It fires flames and leaves damage over time. And when you fire the weapon, it creates a damage field around you so enemies cannot get near you without getting damaged. Also, Kaor's Salvo, which is a new arc rocket launcher, and it's the rocket launcher that goes on the character's back. And it puts the player in third person. When firing, it'll charge up and fire multiple arc rockets that track. The rockets fire up into the air first. What was that? Fire up into the air first, and then rain down on the enemy as it has been marked to track. Next up, Kali from the Last Wish raid. She'll drop an emblem, a shader called Techian Power, which is a shader that has the colors of the Techian's clothing, which is black, light blue, and red. The Nation of Beast hand cannon, the Supremacy sniper rifle, and the Techian Power, which is a new exotic auto rifle that does arc damage, and it has explosive payload and a perk called Taken Detonation, where it deals more damage to Taken, and when you get a kill, a Taken blast will happen, pushing other enemies away and dealing damage. So kind of like how the Techians do that AoE effect as the attack, it's similar to that after you get a kill. Next up, Shuro-Chi will drop an emblem, a Techian Strength shader, which is light blue and red with a Taken animated effect inside, the Chattering Bone pulse rifle, the Age-Old Bond auto rifle, and an exotic weapon that I designed called the Techian Doomsday, which is an exotic target locator that deals arc damage. And the perk on it is Shuro-Chi's Annihilation. This weapon puts you in third person, and when you aim in, a laser pointer will be put where you want a massive Taken blast to land and demolish all the enemies. Pretty simple, but pretty awesome. This thing would give everybody so much fun. Alright, let's take a look at Morgeth. Morgeth will drop an emblem, a shader called Vault Keeper Strength, which is a new shader with black and a whitish light green, and an animated effect similar to the growing bubble on his back, that like weirdish tealish blue color, if you know what I'm saying. And he will also drop the Apex Predator rocket launcher, the Transfiguration scout rifle, and an exotic called Vault Keeper Strength. an exotic arc heavy trace rifle. It fires heavy Taken bolts, and when enemies get hit, they are knocked back heavily. Am I describing a Taken ogre? The answer is yes. Next up, Riven. Riven will drop an emblem, a shader called Riven's Wish, which has the brown color of Riven's scales and a Taken animated effect in it. She will also drop the Techian Force fusion rifle and the 1000 Voices exotic heavy fusion rifle. Also, I have created two exotic weapons for this boy or girl. Girl, my bad. First one, Riven's Incineration, an exotic arc heavy flamethrower. It fires arc flames with incredible range, and when enemies get hit with it, their movement is brought to a standstill and there is damage over time as well. And next up, we got the Pupil of Riven, an exotic grenade launcher, which is a drum grenade launcher in the kinetic slot. Yep, it takes that extra ammo. Let's just say you got a grenade launcher in the special weapon slot in the kinetic slot, like Malicious Birthright or Mountaintop. But this one's a drum grenade launcher in that exact same slot. You don't have to reload chronically. It's going to be awesome. And what this weapon does is it takes special ammo and fires small Taken blasts that has a charge. When landing shots with this weapon, the gun will become charged. When the gun becomes charged, an extra large shot is loaded into the gun that does incredible damage. That's it. That's it. I'm just describing the little Eye of Riven, like the item you pick up during the raid. I'm just describing that. Like, I turn these items into weapons, and I think that's a good idea for the game. Next up, Insurrection Prime. Insurrection Prime will drop an emblem, a shader called Insurrection Power that looks like light brown color with a blue distorted animated effect like the blast the boss releases, or just how the phase radiant stuff looks on those types of weapons. So yeah, also, this guy will drop Anarchy, Tempered Dynamo Fusion Rifle, Threat Level Shotgun, and a weapon called the Insurrection Cannon, which is an exotic solar rocket launcher. It will fire a large artillery shell at your enemy that leaves flames on the ground, and the velocity is significantly greater. This weapon is also held near the hip, like one is actually holding a large barrel instead of a gun being over the shoulder. So it's like a machine gun. You know, you hold it by your hip with like two handles instead of over the shoulder like a regular rocket launcher. It's like that. Last up, and obviously the newest, Galron. Galron will drop an emblem, Galron's Sorrow, a shader, which is dark brown with lime green hive effects that are animated, Taraba, exotic solar submachine gun, Galron's right hand, the auto rifle, and Bane of Sorrow, the machine gun. Lastly, that exotic weapon, Sorrow's Club, an exotic arc heavy club. The light attack is a regular heavy swing. Because it's a club, it's going to be a heavy swing. And the heavy attack is a large AoE slam that does great knockback. Just like the way Galron destroys the Deception in the raid. That's going to be like that. It's going to be awesome. He's going to be like, and blow everything up with your club. And, yeah, that basically concludes part 2. I've gone through all the raid bosses in part 1 and part 2 collectively. And yeah, let's do some conclusion. I'd like to thank you for watching the video, and if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share with your friends, follow my social media, and all the other shenanigans that YouTube has to offer. And if you didn't like it, dislike it because you didn't like it, and put a comment in the comment section on how I can improve for later. And with that, you all have a good day. On Saturday, we're getting a video about the menagerie weapons and the curated roles.